2013, there was a 4-session course where we started together to look at that. And the timing was interesting because it was at the same time as the Dementia Friends national initiative was being launched. So we quickly moved into a sense of dementia-friendly church at the heart of dementia-friendly community, realising that lots that was being looked at. I think it was the start of 2015, we had our first posts of a part-time. I started a role as a part-time dementia enabler, and churches responded. So there was almost a tidal wave of response, actually. We do find that in a number of churches, somebody becomes a dementia coordinator, often someone with lived experience of dementia, maybe in the family, so who've travelled with somebody as patterns have changed. And they're often somebody who's a great person to be talking to people, just to say there's somebody you can talk to about memory loss and dementia. I think it's so interesting that churches often start by thinking, what can we offer to people living with dementia, which is a great question. But the question that is equally important and sometimes only emerges later is, what can we learn from people living with dementia? And it's so important that we're part of a community where things can be honestly named. And I think we're so well placed to do that in churches. So one thing is about the church family involving all different generations. And again, a local example, somebody living with dementia who was a teacher in her working life. And when she comes to a parish event and there are youngsters around, there's a natural sense of connection. You can feel her really relating to the youngsters, caring about them. She's got a sense of attention and alertness as she enjoys what they're doing. There's also an element of thinking about us as whole people, so head and heart, but also thinking about all our senses, so that in our worship we don't just rely on a tumble of words and relying on those intellectual connections. How can we use all our senses? Is there something visual? Is there something we can share and look at together and respond to, with time to respond and an openness in where that response might take us?
I asked Phil today, I said, perhaps I'll be asked to report on Singing Featherbrain. What's it mean to you? And he said, I love it. He said, we're given such a warm welcome, and seeing the other people, some of whom, are less capable than him. He actually does quite a lot of helping, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
With the chairs and the practical things and the tables, because he's still quite strong. Yeah. But I love going myself. And
some of us wore silly hats. The invitation on the posters and the flyers said you can wear a hat if you like. And for me, the positivity that was there, because we had 3 interviews, and what shone through for me was that it was such a positive thing. So that was a delight, really, and we had children.
In the Diocese of Lichfield, we've got 3 stages to our engagement on dementia-friendly churches. The first is embarking on becoming a more dementia-friendly church. The second is embedding, so that becomes part of the heartbeat of our church life. And the third is extending and making wider connections. Embarking on Dementia-Friendly Church, we're using the National Dementia Friends information sessions, and we've made the decision to hold those within a main Sunday service. And the beauty of that is that we engage the whole church family. We raise awareness for everyone, including people who thought dementia had nothing to do with them, and also people who are nervous of going into any discussion of dementia because they feel it might affect them. In another service, there was an organist who spoke to me afterwards and said, "I'm sorry I missed one of the responses. I was in tears. What you were saying just spoke so directly to my own experiences with my mother. I cared for her for 2 years at home. Can I take some material now to share with 3 people who I know are living with dementia now?" So we're opening up stories, we're making connections that go deep. And we've done that in lots of different churches that have been willing to open the door. Our latest tally is about 90 different churches where we've done a Dementia Friends Sunday service, and it's coming on for 4,000 dementia friends that have been made in those. Embedding dementia-friendly churches, we're recognising churches by giving them a dementia-friendly church certificate when they identify 3 actions that they're going to take in the coming year. And it'll be very different in different church communities. We share ideas as to what other churches have done, but each church identifies which actions feel a fit for them. One of the collaborations that's been very fruitful has been with the library, and they've been working on memory bags. So objects that are borrowed by people living with dementia. And we've had some churches that have put together memory bags, one for the church and one for the library, which could be shared more widely in the community. It's one of the strengths of the church to be there for people and help people who've got problems.
I've said it many times before, the risk of boring people, but I find the amount of love and affection in the room when it's all happening, it's remarkable.
It's a bit like with the Paralympic Games, that instead of focusing on the disability, we're celebrating ability and we're noticing where the life is today and sharing that and properly celebrating it together.